Let me ask you a question. Um, this corner class, I haven't studied it that deeply yet. If the Niners go offensive tackle in the first and corner in the second, is it a deep class that the Niners could get a corner in the third? Or again, if you're trying to get a good corner, do you really have to spend premium draft capital on it?
It depends how the draft plays out because corners they can go real fast. I mean, they can run off like because all teams need them, right? I mean, you need three really. Four, I mean, four would be great. You need three corners are literally going to start your team because you have the nickel corner too, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much your base defense now.
Yeah.
So you're going to need three corners, and those guys are premium guys, and they're going to run off draft boards. I don't know. I would want to try to get a corner in the first 2 rounds. I think if Trent's not there, I would go OT. But
Again, I just don't I think it's one of the easier positions to scout. You see the guy at the combine, yeah, he's tall enough, he's fast enough, he's quick enough. Let me turn on the tape. Oh, he can cover. Let me see him cover some other first round pick. Oh, he can do it. It's not that hard. So if you prove it on tape, if you prove it at the combine, you're gonna be a top 20 pick. You might bust. Maybe you don't work hard when you get to the NFL or whatever, but you're gonna be a top 20 pick. You're not gonna find some super duper athlete at the 80th pick, unless he's Chris Culliver and was playing safety in college, something like that.
there's very few guys that are like they run a 4.3 and they're in.
Who's this guy who's on the board at 80 who ran a 4.3 and is 200 pounds and 6'1", and it's like, oh wow, everyone just passed on him. No.
Right. Normally, what happens when they have the combine is there's guys that are rated, in the fourth round or the third round, and all of a sudden they run an unexpected 4.3 or and they start jumping up boards because okay, look at that speed.
Yeah, but then you turn on the tape and all of a sudden it doesn't match. There was a guy 2013 or something, the same dude from Oklahoma State. He got drafted top 10 by the Browns. I forget his name, but he was one of the more epic busts at cornerback the last 10 years. Do you remember that guy? Let me get him real quick before we let us pull.
Yeah, the thing about anything in the draft is you got to make sure the tape matches up. When you talk about 40 speeds and all that, just have to match up with the tape. If you see the speed on
Preston
tape,
Gilbert.
Preston Gilbert, I think I do remember
Justin Gilbert. Yeah.
Justin Gilbert. I do remember that name.
He was big, fast. I think he returned kicks too. He just wasn't that great in coverage.
Yeah, it wasn't. The Niners also had they had a first round bust from Oklahoma State at corner, right? Years ago.
Oh, wide receiver, Sean Woods.
No, R.W. McQuarters.
Oh, R.W. McQuarters. Was that 1997? I was 9. Yeah. I remember when they drafted that guy, I think at 9 years old, being like, a guy with a name like R.W. McQuarters just isn't going to work out.
And he's not going high, and he's not going that high today because I think he was like 5'9", 5'8". Back then, if you can move and you're 5'9", 5'8", who cares? But now with all these with
5'8", who cares? But
yeah. Now. And the other thing that I will say with size, I think size tends to bother big receivers because, in my experience, from what I've seen, is big receivers aren't used to be. What they're used to is just mossing everybody a bit and those smaller DBs. And when they get a guy that can
stand up to
their size and can stand up to them, it's difficult.
They're not refined enough to beat similar size cornerbacks the way like a guy like Antonio Brown is, or Devontae.
Right. Yeah. Right. So I will say that about big DBs. So if you can even if you have a smaller guy that can move and a bigger guy that can handle a bigger receiver, that might be ideal because then you can place your bigger guy on the bigger receiver and give him a little more problems. Because the bigger receivers, there's a few of them, but they tend to not be able to change direction as quickly as the
DK Metcalf. I mean, he's exactly what we're thinking of, and he's the big receiver the Niners have to match up with because he's in their division, and as good as Jason Verrett is, he can't match up with DK Metcalf. So if the Niners were to take a corner in round 1, you'd have to think you're not drafting him to cover DK Metcalf, but you have to ask the question, can he cover DK? That's
right.
The Niners are at.
And I mean, in the NFC West, you also have DeAndre Hopkins, who's I think he's 6'1", 6'2", but he plays like he's 6'4". So he is a big physical receiver.
Yes. So Brett did a good job against him, but again, that's because Brett plays pretty big for a 5'9" dude as well. You need to have that physicality and stuff. So when we're looking at these corners this year, my question with Surtain, who I think everyone thinks is the best, I've been studying other people, and I notice him a lot because I watch a lot of Alabama defense, and he's not super big. I don't think he's small, but I've seen him lose at the catch point a few times. I'm interested to see him a little bit more. He's not exactly Charles Woodson.
Yeah, Saban's corners tend to not pan out.
Marlon Humphrey was good, but everyone else.
Yeah, and
Miller.
The thing about Saban's corner, they tend to have the physical traits, but then when they get to the league, I mean, they haven't really panned out. Drake Kirkpatrick has stuck around, but he's not been elite.
What is it about Saban's corners?
Well, I don't know what's being taught in the NFL, but I will tell you this: that Saban does not teach backpedal.
Right.
He's against it. He doesn't believe in it. So if NFL teams are asking these corners to backpedal and these Alabama corners are coming out of it, they haven't had it for 3 to 4 years because he's not teaching it. He doesn't believe in it.
I see. So they teach press and press bail.
Yeah, he's a match guy. So plays. He will play some press, but he's not. He's a slide technique guy. He doesn't believe in back.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
Can you explain that to the people watching? Because I don't even know what that means.
So they're going instead of backpedaling, you're going to position your body so you're turned toward the offense, and you're going to kind of shuffle, and then you'll baseball turn with the receiver. Saban believes that backpedal is an unnatural concept, and it's just very difficult for a body to do. So why even ask them to do it when the baseball turn is much more natural, and athletes have it's more comfortable for them.
Okay, and that works for him, but there still are some defensive coordinators in the NFL who require some backpedaling on certain coverages. And
if you're requiring backpedaling, then I don't know you want to take an Alabama corner because you're not going to see them do it.
I see.
Like LSU has put out so many NFL corners because LSU in the past has taught backpedaling.
I see. So they just teach all the fundamentals at LSU, and at Alabama, Saban has his own view, and it works for him, but it doesn't necessarily work for the kids' futures.
Yeah, I mean they put out a ton of NFL corner. I mean they go in the first round. They just haven't had. I can't recall what and last.
Marlon Humphrey is the exception. He's pretty good in Baltimore. Other than him,
right. But they've all gone in the first round. They just haven't panned out to be Pro Bowl or even hang on to starting roles.
Minka's good, but he's a safety.
Safety, no safeties. The safety plays has been pretty good. Who's on the Giants? I mean, he's kind of more of a thumper now.
Oh yeah, Landon Collins.
Yeah, he was good in the beginning.
Yes. So next time we come on next week, we'll have some specific names for you guys and some film. We got a lot of
time. Horn and Farley are the guys we want, preferably. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Sorry, hold on. He said Horn and Farley are the guys we want, preferably Horn. Also, guys like Adebo from Stanford and Lenoir from Oregon later in the draft to pair with Horn would be ideal. Those are the guys we look at.
Yeah. I do like. I have seen something on Farley. They're all again. This class is littered with corner talent. I am aware about Adebo. I think that was. Is it Adebo? Is that how his name?
I don't know how to pronounce anyone's name. In fact, I take pride in mispronouncing everyone's name. George Kittle's comes to mind. So I don't know.
Yeah,
When he
more on
becomes a three-time Pro Bowler, I'll figure it out.
more on that next week. I do. Those are guys. I am a right now. I do like Farley, but I don't want to tell you guys my particular ratings without seeing all of them because I think it's unfair to.
I haven't watched a second of Farley. All I know is he got hurt, so I'm nervous.
Yeah,
That's all. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure he looks great on film, but he didn't play this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.